Hello friends, welcome to Learn Easy. Today in this session we will discuss principal agent problem. The principal agent problem is a situation where an agent is expected to act in the best interest of the principal. But the agent has different incentives from the principal, leading to a conflict of interest. Principal delegates authority to agent. The agent acts and makes decision of his own on behalf of the principal. The conflict of interest occurs between the agent and the principal. A principal delegates an action to another individual, that is agent, but there are two issues. The common thread in all these problems is that there are two parties, a principal and an agent. The principal does not have information about the agent. The principal does not have full information how the agent will behave. Second, the interests of the principal diverge from that of agent, meaning that the outcome is less desirable than the principal expects. The principal agent problem can lead to market failure because the agent pursues his own self-interest rather than that of the principal, and the business may be run in an inefficient way. In extreme cases, the mutually beneficial action may not happen because the principal lacks information. Principal agent problem enables agents to produce suboptimal work. For example, managers may be profit satisfier, leading to higher costs and less profits. Shareholders, that is principal, often want to maximize profits for high dividends, whereas managers, that is agents, may have less incentive to maximize profits. Instead of maximizing profit, managers seek to make enough profit to keep shareholders content and maintain their positions, after which they pursue other goals like growth, stability, or personal utility. To try and overcome the principal agent problem, the principal will have to spend money on monitoring and providing incentives for workers. Due to information asymmetries, principals may be unaware of how much a contract has been fulfilled. Principals may be reluctant to enter into a contract at all for the fear that they will not know what is going on. For example, a landlord may be reluctant to lend if he fears that a tenant may mistreat his property and be unable to know how it is cared for. It is generally impossible for the principal or the agent at zero cost to ensure that the agent will make optimal decisions from the principal's viewpoint. An employer can respond to the agency problem by increasing the monitoring of employees. This could be achieved through among other things, enhanced management scrutiny of employee work, but this requires a significant investment of the employer's time and resources. Principal agent problem in shareholder and corporate managers. A shareholder, that is principal, wants to maximize profits for his firm. He hires corporate managers, that is agents, to run the business. The shareholder cannot fully know how the agent is working, that is, to what extent the manager is fulfilling the contract. Managers possess more detailed information about the company's daily operations than shareholders do. This makes it difficult for owners to tell if a poor result was due to bad luck or a manager's lack of effort. In this situation, the manager does not share the same interest in maximizing profits as the owner. Principal agent problem and moral hazard. The principal agent problem can also lead to an individual taking an excessive risk because the ultimate cost is borne by someone else. This is an example of moral hazard. Moral hazard occurs when a person takes greater risk or behaves less carefully because they are shielded from the consequences of their action. The classic example is a person with comprehensive car insurance drives more recklessly because he does not bear the full cost of an accident. Another example, an investment banker may gain a bonus for making high profits. This encourages the banker to take risky investment. Moral hazard occurs in situations in which an economic agent chooses how much risk to take, while the potential negative consequences of these risky choices are partly borne by another party. If he fails and loses a huge amount, the losses are absorbed by the bank or taxpayer, not by the individual banker. The term moral hazard originated in the insurance industry to express the problem that insurers face. The protection from risk is expected to reduce the agent to change behavior, taking on excessive risk on exerting less effort to limit damages, thereby leading to suboptimal economic outcomes. The person with home insurance may take less care to avoid fires or other damages to their home, thereby increasing the risk. Care would be taken if it would not be insured. Insurance coverage is a standard example of a moral hazard situation. By covering the damage in case of negative events like fire, theft, car accident, or sickness, insurance companies may be concerned that they are unintentionally encouraging their clients to engage in more risky behavior. If you find the topic interesting and helpful, may please subscribe my channel and press the notification bell. Solutions of principal agent problem. First solution, performance-based compensation. A simple solution to give agents an incentive to work hard, linking rewards directly to outcomes. The agent's compensation is the primary method of aligning the interests of both parties. In order to address the principal agent problem, the compensation must be linked to the performance of the agent. Without sufficient flexibility, it can create tension in the workplace and reduce cooperation. Some jobs are suitable for objective evaluation. As for example, food pickers have an easily quantifiable output, but other jobs such as teaching and managers require more subjective evaluation. Second solution, monitoring and surveillance. Implementing mechanisms to track agent behavior, such as using audits, cameras, or performance review to prevent hidden actions. Third solution, long-term contracts. When contracts are given that reward long-term value creation rather than short-term gains, it reduces risky behavior. Fourth solution, reputation mechanism. Confidential credential review, two-way rating system, etc. are used to create accountability. Fifth solution, part ownership. It turns agents into owners, like employee stock ownership plans, that is ESOPs. It encourages them to act in the company's long-term interest. Sixth solution, tipping. Waiters, that is agents, who rely on tips for pay will have their interests more aligned with owners, that is principals. This can be an effective way to remove the principal agent problem. However, due to social conventions, it remains in limited industries of restaurants and cafes. Asymmetric information describes a situation where one side of an exchange, the buyer or seller, knows more about the product than the other. Generally, we might expect the sellers of goods to know more about than buyers, but not always. A collector of antiques might know more about the value of an item they see for sale by someone who found an old item in their attic. Items whose values is not immediately known to a buyer or seller are said to have hidden characteristics. Asymmetric information can also arise when agents' actions are not visible to all parties. For example, a customer may hire a mechanic to fix their car, but they do not observe the actions of mechanic actually takes. The mechanic might say they replaced a part when in fact they did not. We call these hidden actions. Principal agent problem produce adverse selection. Adverse selection occurs when the more desirable attributes of a market withdraw due to asymmetric information. This could be better quality products, better quality consumers or better quality sellers. The result is that consumers and producers may not make transactions that are socially beneficial, transactions that would yield positive producer and or consumer for surplus. This is the market failure associated with asymmetric information. The ability of the more informed agents to exploit their advantage. That's all for today. Thank you.